Welcome to the introductory series of training videos for SolidCAM. This video's topic is the global settings. So before you open up a CAM part file, before you start programming, you might want to look at the global settings of your software to make sure that everything is the way you like it. The global settings take control and input defaults inside of the operations, inside of your setups. So it's a good idea to make sure the defaults are what you want them to be. So let's take a look at the global settings and a few details that you might want to get set up before you start your first part. So we'll go to Tools, SolidCAM, SolidCAM Settings. And these are the global settings. These settings dictate the defaults, the controls, a lot of the stuff you're going to do in the software, and they actually become the part settings as well. So when you open up a CAM part, you'll see in the left menu that there is a settings option, a settings section as well, and those are basically a copy of these settings for that individual part file. So if you're looking to modify the settings of a part file, when you first open up the part, they copy these settings. But once the part is open, they have their own set of settings. So any changes you make here don't actually filter back to old part files. So let's take a look at the settings we have here. So the first section is user directories. So these are the default locations for a lot of the stuff you're going to do inside SolidCAM. For instance, the user directory for CAM parts, this is where your parts will be saved if you don't tell it to put them anywhere else. So if you don't change the default settings of your part files, essentially when you go to open up a part file and you go to save it somewhere, it will save it in this directory. If you don't like this directory, you can always click Browse and then browse to a different folder location that you like. User directory for system additional files. Basically, this is where your tool tables, your tool definitions, holders, different tables for different things. A lot of information will be found in this particular folder. So this is kind of a catch-all for everything that is not a CAM part. Below there is an Excel file for the threading information. So anytime you call out a thread, this is essentially where we keep our threading tables or threading information in that directory. And then finally, iMachine database. So this is the location on your hard drive or on your network where you're going to keep all your iMachining definitions. For more on what the iMachining definitions are, I'll refer you to the iMachining setup video in this series. But essentially, this is where those files will be kept. Next is the units. So the default unit for every CAM part file is dictated here. Basically, you have the chance every time you open up a CAM part file inside SolidCAM to choose between metric or inch units of measure. This is really just the default. So as soon as I open up a CAM part file, it will default to being in inches. Default CNC Controller. So essentially, the default CNC Controller is the location of your post-processor files. And you can see on the top here, there's an address for that as well. That is the default location according to the initial install of my SolidCAM. But if I have a network location where I want to put all my posts, that way I can share it amongst my company, or I have a place where I just keep all the posts on my hard drive. Again, I can just browse to where that is and then select that location. The pull-down menus below here are for each of the modules available to me as a user of SolidCAM. So if I open up a milling CAM part, the default post-processor that I'll point to is this one right here. But in this pull-down list are all the post-processors that are found in that directory, in that location there. So if I want to default to a particular machine every time I open up a new milling part, I just grab it from this list, and then every time I open up a brand new milling CAM part, it will default to that post-processor. But of course, you have the ability to switch to a different post every time you open up a new CAM part file. These are just the defaults. The same with the turning and the mill turn sections. So essentially, I can tell it to default to my most common machine, or if I only have one machine and I don't want to have to bother choosing it every time I open up a CAM part, I can always come in here and just say, every time I open up a brand new mill turn part, it defaults to that machine. In the G-code section, all you're really doing here is telling SolidCAM where you'd like to output your G-code file to. So after you've programmed your part complete, you'd like to post the code. It'll post the code using whatever post-processor you've selected. It'll open it up in whatever text editor that you select. If you look down here, there's actually a location for my text editor. Newer versions of SolidCAM will come with a basic version of Simco, so you should have it defaulted there. Otherwise, if you're using an older version of SolidCAM, it most likely is outputting to Notepad. In either case, whichever text editing or NC editor software you use, you can link to it here, or you can just browse to it and select it from your locations. Now, once you post the G-code, you actually can tell it where you'd like to save it using one of the options at the top here. So in CAMPart directory, basically we'll save the NC file, whatever you've generated, in the same folder as where you brought, where you're saving your SolidCAM file. If you would like to save to a particular directory, you check this box, and then in the directory where the CAMPart file are saved. So basically you can set a subfolder, you can set some directories in that CAMPart location as well. According to the VMID, as per your VMID, which is one of the two files that comes with your post processor, there is a dictated location where your G-code files can be kept. So if you like to do that, then it really doesn't matter which post you've chosen, it'll save it to the location dictated by that post. If there is a particular location on your hard drive or on your network where you'd like to save the G-code file, let's say this might be a network location for your machine, then you can just browse to that address here, and then it'll save that NC file to that directory. Under CAMPart, this is, again, the default settings for when you first open up a SolidCAM file. So between internal or external, you can tell it which one to default to. Save the new files in a compressed mode, and your temporary folder. So a lot of the times when you're working on your SolidCAM file, you're actually saving it to a local temp folder while you're working on the file. It's only after you properly close it does it save it to that location that you told it to in the user directory section. But while the part is open, you are working off the temp folder. So this is a location where a lot of information will be saved while you are either working on a part file or in transition between posting code or anything like that. There's a lot of stuff that this temp folder does. So this is a good address to know where it is so that you can do modifications or even clean up your system. A lot of the times if you improperly close a file or you have some crashes, information will stay in the temp folder. So that's a good place to go and clean up those parts. Automatic CAM part definition, again, defaults for when you first open up a CAM part. You can see that it has the three categories up there, the three modules. And all you're really doing here is telling it what you'd like to set up automatically for you. So you can see on my screen, all I have for my milling is my create machine setup. We'll cover machine setups when we get to a later video for the new milling CAM part setup. But essentially, the machine setup will allow you to tell the software which fixture you're using, which coordinate system you're working under. So it's actually important to have a machine setup. And you should have one at minimum because you are always working under a particular coordinate system. Every time you change your machine setup, you will add change your coordinate system, you'll add another machine setup. So this just makes sure that you will at least have the first one for your first setup, your first using Mac 1 position 1. And that's basically why there's some information in here as well as maybe where to create Mac 1. Don't show the coordinate system manager after you've made that Mac 1. If you only use one particular post and you don't want to have to bother with the definition screen, you can tell it to skip that by checking this box. And if you'd like to automatically select your stock and target for you as well, then you can get that to be done for you. Again, these are just default settings, but we'll cover what these actually are when we get to the video later in the series about new milling CAM part setup. The same for mill turn and turning. In certain cases, you might not want to select the stock and the target automatically for you. You might not want any of the stuff checked, but at minimum, I have the create machine setup in both those settings, both those modules, because you do need at least one of those in the software. So my settings here is what I would recommend. Coordinate system definition. If you don't want to actually define the coordinate system limits every time, you can just set the defaults here, and you can see the defaults here are actually as they are on screen. So every time I open up a CAM part and I add a coordinate system, these limits will be applied. So you'll see there's a lot of actual defaults in here in terms of, let's say, stock definition. When I go to define a stock, it's going to default to the relative to model, and it's going to use these options here in terms of milling. In terms of turning, you can see the settings over here. So all you're really doing here is just giving it some input to fill those boxes when you first open up a CAM part. A lot of times, these settings are okay. There's really no need to switch some of these unless you're doing something very specific with your setup. So a lot of defaults in here in terms of what to do with the geometry. So once you first open up a pocketing or profiling toolpath, what defaults are set there. So if you find that a lot of the times you open up a pocket or a profile and it automatically has the target tangent propagation and constant Z propagation turned on, and you like to switch those off, Once you switch it off here, every new CAM part file will see this change because, again, it takes these global settings and sets them up as the part settings. We go to the iMachining section, you can see that you have some control over the iMachining defaults. If I wanted to default a material every time I open up a CAM part file, I can grab it from this list. And again, we cover the material database in the video on iMachining setup. Which of the options in the iMachining toolpaths are defaulted? Again, we'll cover this when we get to the 2D and 3D iMachining definition videos. And for your tool sheets, you can see that this is the location where the tool sheet templates are kept as well. So a lot of information can be found in the global settings, and these set up the part level settings when you first open up a CAM part. So any questions of this, always give us a call at the main tech support line, and stay tuned for the rest of the videos in this introductory series. Thanks for watching.